Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of VGC Prep. Today we're doing another PDL battle because I got a lot of these due, so I'm going to be knocking them out as we go. This one is against Liquid Ice, and I don't remember exactly what round it is, but this was his full 6 team. He had Gallade, which has to be Mega, Trevenant, Weezing, Vaporeon, Bisharp, and Mr. Mime. So, honestly, there was one thing on his team that I can't think of right now that I was hoping he wouldn't bring, and he didn't bring it. So, thankfully, because I think it does, like, really well against my team, and I was just a little concerned about it. So, looking at his team, as you can see, the team I have below, I kind of figured Togekiss might not really be super useful in the first battle. You know, he's definitely going to be bringing that Bisharp, because Bisharp can do quite a lot to my team right now. And I wasn't really sure what else. You know, Gallade I'm going to have to play carefully around because they do get Shadow Sneak, although it really doesn't do that much damage, but it is something to watch out for. It also gets Knockoff, and that's going to be a little interesting against my Mesprit. So basically I decided I didn't want to start off with Mega Mawile, even though Mega Mawile has a pretty solid type advantage against this team. You know, I have Crunch for Trevenant, Iron Head for Mr. Mime. Play Rough does a really good chunk to Bisharp. Play Rough, if they're not physically defensive, does do a lot to Vaporeon. Not really too much for Weezing, but still, you know, I have Mesprit for that, and it does have Play Rough for Gallade. But I didn't want to start off with that because I did see the Bisharp, so just in case he brought in the Bisharp, I wanted to make sure, for sure, that it wouldn't take me out. So I decided to start off with Dragalge and Mesprit, and honestly, guys, these battles really made me super disappointed in Dragalge. You'll see what I mean when we get there. It's one of those Pokemon that if it's not spamming Draco, it's not doing very well. So he starts off with Weezing and Vaporeon, and taking advantage of him having basically no way to stop the Trick Room, I'm going to get it set up. And now he did have Seaking on his team, like, in the drafts, but actually, so I'm good to spam Thunderbolt, which I have with Dragalge, but I decided to drop to go real quick for a Sludge Bomb, just in case he wanted to switch out, because Vaporeon really couldn't do anything to my side of the field. He did end up going for the Scald, and luckily got the burn, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not a physical attacker, and the burn just makes me closer to getting my Citrus Berry and recovering more HP to survive another move. So it's whatever. So the Bisharp comes in here, and I'm a little weary because obviously Bisharp can one-shot my Mesprit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of a risk, and I'm going to switch into Torkoal, because Torkoal, it's a risk because Scald, he was scalding the Mesprit, but at the same time it's like, well, you know, it's my best bet against Bisharp. Now, I go for Hydro Pump on this Bisharp, and I do a decent amount of damage, but I was really hoping to take it out. You know, max special attack, Life Orb, you'd really think that'd be enough to take out Bisharp. It really only has base 65 HP and like 70 special defense, and you can pretty much be 100% certain it's not running any defensive investment whatsoever. So it was interesting. Now, I actually left my Dragalge in here because while I was expecting him to maybe go for Sucker Punch, sort of hoping my Thunderbolt would take out the Vaporeon, which of course it didn't, and then I could just, you know, threaten the Bisharp with the Flamethrower. So that was kind of my thought process there, because I was obviously in Trick Room, so if he did decide to Sucker Punch the Dragalge, he would lose his Bisharp, and I'd really only lose Dragalge and Torkoal for Bisharp, which is perfectly fine, because now I'm pretty much forced to bring in Mega Mawile, who obviously will give the Bisharp a Defiant boost, and you know, that's a little scary, having a Bisharp running around with priority. You know, even though I have Trick Room up, it's not going to really do very much for me. But I'm figuring, you know what, he's probably confident enough that he can take out the Torkoal with a Sucker Punch that I'm actually just going to play rough the Vaporeon. I'm going to stay in and go for a Flamethrower on the Bisharp. And thankfully, I do survive that +1. Torkoal is quite the champ when it comes to taking hits. I really, really love it. So I do take out the Bisharp there, and I go for Play Rough. I was not expecting this to take it out, but the prior damage actually means that it is able to be taken out, which is awesome. I'm very happy about that. So out comes Gallade, which of course has to Mega Evolve due to the league's rules. You know, it's just a way to basically guarantee that you're using the right item, because you can come in with like another Mega. You know, and, like the people won't be cheating. I could pretty much assure you that, but it's just one of those things that we just want to make sure. So I was considering going for Explosion here with my Torkoal, but I kind of figured, you know, the worst thing that this thing can do to me is Flamethrower my Mawile, which I will survive. It didn't really occur to me that Weezings do get Will-O-Wisp, so that kind of was almost really bad. But, you know what, I was just like, you know what, it's not really that big of a deal. If he does go for a Will-O-Wisp, I still have base 105 attack, and I can still one-shot this Gallade. So whatever you want to do, go ahead and do it. So he actually goes for Pain Split, basically confirming for me that he doesn't have Will-O-Wisp, because if he had Will-O-Wisp, he definitely would have gone for it. And my Player Off goes off, I take out the Gallade, and it's just now my Mesprit and Mawile versus the Weezing. So I pretty much got it from there. He'll be able to get off one more attack before, because obviously I am Trick Room Pokemon and I'm not in Trick Room. And he does reveal the Flamethrower, which is I'm really glad he revealed, so I know for future battles. It didn't do too much, so I was pretty confident in surviving it later on. And unfortunately my Psychic actually did not take out the Weezing there, but my Iron Head does. So thankfully I didn't like Protect, and because that could have honestly been a little bad. Because then he could have gotten Pain Split, and so basically just double attacking won me that game. So awesome, very good battle. So for the second battle, since it worked the first time, I was like, you know what, let's just bring the same Pokemon, same leads. It should do really well. It did put me in a bit of a pickle against Bisharp, but I was like, you know what, I have ways around it, you know? So I'm going to start off with Dragalge and Mesprit, like I said, and he actually starts off with Bisharp this time, and I was really hoping he wouldn't go for knockoff on the Mesprit. I thought that was too obvious of a play. I figured what he would do would just go for the knockoff on the Dragalge and go for the Scald on the Mesprit. But unfortunately, he did just go straight for the Mesprit. So I'm out of Trick Room for this turn, for this battle. So I go straight for this, just the Thunderbolt, just to get some chip damage off. It doesn't really do that much, but that should, from the previous battle, that should be more than enough for Hydro Pump to take it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in with my Torkoal. He does go for knockoff, and I was like, oh my god, I just lost my Dragalge, and I survive, and then he goes for Scald, and I'm like, that's fine, I have Assault Vest, not a big deal. But Jesus, guys, even Assault Vest on Torkoal doesn't really help. So I go for the Hydro Pump, I'm like, good, it's gone. Oh, it's not. Like, how? I probably got a low roll there, but it's just one of those things that I'm just like, I really don't like this Pokemon at all. It barely can damage. All it can really do is spam Draco Meteor. You know, Sludge Bomb's good if they're weak to it, but if they're neutral to it, it's not going to really be doing very much. So what I went for here was just an attack with Dragalge. I think it was a Thunderbolt onto the Vaporeon. And Explosion. I probably should have gone for Explosion last turn. I didn't really think of that because I didn't really have anything for the Vaporeon, and I didn't want to take out my Dragalge, but obviously it didn't really matter because I would have taken out the Bisharp here, so that would have been a better play, but I go for it now because I figured, I didn't really know, I figured I was just going down. I figured he would just Sucker Punch the Dragalge and go for the Scald on the Torkoal. That'd be more than enough to take me out, so all I have left is Mega Mawile. I do kind of make a misplay here. There's no way I can win at this point. I do make a really bad misplay, though. I actually went for Iron Head on Bisharp, completely forgetting that it had Life Orb, even though I wrote it down. Like, you can literally see right here, I wrote Life Orb, LO. What I really should have just play rough the Vaporeon. I know it really doesn't matter because he does take me out with Scald regardless, so I'm not going to get that Iron Head off anyway, but had that worked a little bit differently, I would have been able to drop the differential from instead of -3 to -2, and that does help in some cases, so that was kind of a misplay, but a really short battle, mainly because I just misplayed around that Bisharp, and it was just not good. So being very frustrated at Dragalge, I just dropped it. I'm like, screw it. I'm not using it anymore. Electros covers the same thing, but better. So we're going to go for Electros here, and it's going to be the same other three. I still really liked Mesprit in the lead position. It was very, very powerful. So out comes Gallade and Bisharp, and I'm thinking both the Gallade and the Bisharp can hit my Mesprit pretty hard. I gotta get out of here. So I'm gonna definitely switch into my Torkoal here. I'm gonna take the brunt of the potential knockoff. Just because, you know, I basically can. I decide to Drain Punch the Bisharp because we know it's not Focus Sash, so I will take it out with the Drain Punch. And I was a little worried about what Gallade will do, and it goes for Close Combat on me. I was like, oh, well, I lost my Electros. What? So I actually survive with 12 HP. Like, how ridiculous is that? 12 HP, guys. Freaking 12 HP. So I'm going to get a lot of that back with this Drain Punch because it's definitely going to take out the Bisharp. And he was super shocked too. Like, we both had no idea I would survive that. I'm just max HP. You know, Electros isn't uber bulky, and Gallade's really, really powerful. So to just survive that was really, really awesome. So I'm going to obviously switch out to Mesprit here. I have no reason not to. He hasn't really revealed a Dark-type move. See, like, that's ridiculous. It did that much to my Mesprit, and my Electros survived it. That's kind of crazy. But I keep in Torkoal because I'm thinking, maybe he'll predict me. I don't really want to switch my Mawile in on a Scald, because just in case it gets burnt. Plus, I don't really know what this Gallade's going to want to do to me. So basically, that's really my best choice at this moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Mawile now. I'm going to obviously Mega Evolve, and I'm pretty certain that regardless of what this Gallade has, even if he doubles into me, I will be able to survive and get Trick Room up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to Protect with Mega Mawile because I don't want any damage on it. I really, really, really don't want any damage on it. It's going to prove to be a little fruitless because he actually doubles into the Mesprit. But thankfully he went for Shadow Sneak and not Close Combat, and the reason for that is Close Combat I think would have put me in a range where Scald would have taken me out even after the Citrus Berry. I think I probably still would have survived at a much less worse HP because he has Shadow Sneak. So I'm gonna actually just not really predict the Protect on the Gallade, but I had Dazzling Gleam and I thought that would be enough, so I actually just play rough the Vaporeon, and thankfully I went for Dazzling Gleam because I didn't actually take out the Vaporeon, which goes to show that the previous damage in the first battle was very crucial. So he's going to go for Shadow Sneak here, and I will survive this. This is what I meant. If he went for Close Combat, it would have been in enough range for me to die from a Shadow Sneak, whereas right now it's not enough. Now I crit the Gallade. I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter. It's not going to really be doing that. It's not going to really be living that. And I'm just going to go for straight up Psychic on this Weezing. And now, since it doesn't have a stockpile up, which is what it had in the first battle, I actually just one-shot it, which I didn't think I would. I thought I would actually just get a 2-hit KO on that, but thankfully I got a 1-hit KO, so I preserved a 3-0 for that battle. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys at the next episode. Peace. Actually, I'm doing it. Healing everything, healing all of me. This is cool.